Hello, everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely crucial, but let's be honest, it's often totally ignored. We're talking about how to protect your choices, your assets, and your timeline as you get older. Specifically, we're looking at elder law and how it intersects right with your home. Now, I know, it can seem pretty daunting at first. After all, nobody really wants to spend their weekend thinking about probate court or long-term care, right? But I promise you, by the time we wrap up here, you are going to feel a profound sense of calm and reassurance. Taking control of this information is literally one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself and for your loved ones.
Okay, let's dive into this. You might be sitting there thinking, hey, I've got a basic will, maybe even a general estate plan, I'm totally covered. But is it missing a crucial piece? The hard reality is that most homeowners over the age of 50 just don't fully grasp what elder law actually covers until they're thrust into a situation where they desperately need it. And that gap in understanding, it can cost families serious time, a whole lot of money, and absolutely shatter their peace of mind. Getting clarity on this topic right now, today, before there's any immediate need, is hands down one of the easiest and smartest ways to protect your future self.
So you're probably wondering, wait, isn't elder law just a fancy term for estate planning? Well, not quite. While the two fields definitely overlap, they are not the exact same thing. According to Fine Law, elder law is a highly specialized field. It covers your standard estate planning and probate, sure, but it also specifically tackles long-term care planning, Medicaid and Medicare eligibility, Social Security benefits, and even elder abuse protection and special needs planning. So why does this matter so much to you? Because in real life, these issues almost never just politely show up one at a time. A sudden medical diagnosis can trigger a massive domino effect, raising immediate, urgent questions about care costs, housing transitions, and legal authority, sometimes all in the exact same week. All right, let's break down the actual foundation of your protection. An elder law attorney typically helps you put a few absolutely essential documents in place. We are looking at a durable power of attorney, a healthcare power of attorney, a living will, and updated beneficiary designations. Think of each of these like a unique shield. One protects your finances, another makes sure your medical wishes are strictly honored, and another dictates exactly how your assets are handled. Each one guards a totally different part of your life, but when you put them all together, they form this rock-solid foundation that makes any future decisions dramatically easier for everyone involved. Now consider this critical point, and it's a big one. Without these specific documents in place, family members sometimes actually need to petition a court for guardianship just to make basic decisions on your behalf. Think about what that actually looks like in practice for a second. Imagine your adult children having to go out, hire a lawyer, and literally stand in front of a judge just to get legal permission to pay your mortgage out of your own bank account. It's a vastly slower, much more expensive, and incredibly stressful process than most people ever anticipate. Having a single attorney, one who's trained in elder law, handle all these connected pieces means your family won't have to scramble or fight through conflicting opinions during a really vulnerable time.
Let's talk about timing, because it is everything here. On one side, we've got proactive planning. On the other, crisis management. You absolutely, positively do not need a crisis to justify calling an elder law attorney. In fact, setting up your advanced directives and long-term care plans while you are totally healthy is exactly what keeps you in the driver's seat. Waiting until a sudden health event, say a bad fall, forces the conversation, that just strips your options away. It leaves adult children scrambling in hospital hallways trying to guess what you would have wanted. If you plan proactively, you stay the one making every single decision, and you do it strictly on your own timeline. And that brings us to the biggest piece of the puzzle for most of us. Your home is usually your absolute largest asset. It's highly emotional, right? Because it's where all your memories live, but it's also the undeniable centerpiece of your financial picture. Decisions about whether to stay in your home, sell it, or eventually transfer that property, they intersect directly with your legal and financial plans. This is exactly where real estate strategy and elder law collide, and it is absolutely vital to view them as two sides of the very same coin. Just look at how these pieces rely on each other. If you have a legal plan but you don't have accurate real estate information or a proper valuation, you're essentially just guessing at your financial future. On the flip side of that, if you are making major real estate moves without a solid legal framework behind you, you're leaving massive gaps. For instance, selling a property without fully understanding Medicaid's look-back periods, that can trigger completely unexpected eligibility nightmares down the line. It can also spark some pretty serious disagreements among family members. The legal pieces and the real estate pieces cannot operate on separate tracks. They absolutely must move together. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. In Illinois, there's a perfect example of this synergy called a transfer on death instrument. Basically, this is a legal tool that allows a home to move directly to a named beneficiary, completely bypassing the probate court altogether. An elder law attorney can help you implement planning tools precisely like this one, protecting your home from those unnecessarily long, drawn-out proceedings after you pass away. It is just a stellar example of how proactive legal guidance directly dictates how smoothly a real estate transition goes for your family when the time comes.
Finding someone to actually help you with this is where things get really interesting. Imagine this. Out of all the practicing attorneys nationwide, there are only about 500 certified elder law attorneys, or CELAs. Now, not every attorney who practices elder law holds a formal certification, but according to the Straussian Law Group, that 500 number covers the entire country. That is an incredibly small number. To put it into perspective, it really highlights just how highly specialized this field truly is. Let's narrow that down even further. Illinois currently has only 15 attorneys who hold this specific, verified level of expertise. Just 15 in the entire state. Knowing this number is so helpful because it explains exactly why finding the right attorney isn't just a matter of a quick 5-second internet search. It really requires a bit of intentional research to find the perfect fit for your family's highly unique situation.
So let's clearly define what that title actually means. A CELA, again, that's a certified elder law attorney, is a professional who has passed a rigorous exam and met incredibly strict experience requirements set by the National Elder Law Foundation. Now, I want to be totally clear here. This certification is not strictly required to practice elder law in Illinois, and you don't necessarily have to have a CELA to get excellent guidance. There are tons of wonderfully skilled attorneys out there. But understanding what this gold standard certification represents, that helps you ask significantly sharper, much more informed questions when you're out there interviewing potential legal counsel. So, how do you actually find the right one? Well, here is a super simple 3-step framework you can use. First, just ask them directly how much of your practice is specifically focused on elder law versus just general estate work. Second, ask how they typically coordinate with other professionals in your life, like your financial advisors or real estate agents. And third, really pay attention to their communication style during that initial chat. You want an attorney who explains complex legal concepts clearly and patiently. You definitely do not want someone who tries to bury you in heavy, confusing legal jargon. Building on that second step, it is vital to look for professionals who actively coordinate with your legal team. For instance, real estate agents who hold an SRES designation, that stands for Seniors Real Estate Specialist, are specifically trained to understand the unique challenges seniors face. They know exactly how those legal and financial decisions intersect with real estate timing. They act as this crucial bridge, coordinating directly with your elder law attorney so you aren't left trying to connect all those complicated dots completely by yourself. Now, if you're sitting there wondering where to even begin your search, I've got a fantastic resource for you. The Illinois chapter of the National Academy of Elder Law Attorneys, or NALA for short, offers a public member directory. It's a genuinely useful, highly credible, and very low-pressure starting point, especially if you happen to be looking for a qualified professional in the south suburbs or the greater Chicago area. It completely takes the guesswork out of finding attorneys who actively and passionately specialize in this exact space. I want to take a quick second to reassure you here. If you are just starting to think about all of this, you absolutely do not need to have every single answer today. Just start with one conversation. Many elder law attorneys offer a free or low-cost initial consultation. This gives you a completely risk-free chance to sit down, ask your specific questions, and see if their communication style actually works for you before you commit to a thing. Remember, planning early on a random Tuesday is always easier than trying to plan under the immense pressure of a sudden health crisis. As you start piecing this all together, keep in mind that there is plenty of guidance available out there for you. Be sure to check out the free resource library and the Homeowners 50+ page for practical, really easy-to-read guides. Whether you're thinking about downsizing, maybe modifying your current home so you can safely age in place, or even exploring entirely new senior living options, these resources are there to help you make confident, deeply informed decisions every single step of the way. So let's wrap up with one single, incredibly powerful question for you to ponder. If a crisis happened tomorrow, who would be making your decisions? It's a heavy thought, I know, but it is truly meant to be an empowering one. Getting your legal and real estate plans fully aligned isn't about sitting around worrying about the future. It is about guaranteeing that your voice is heard no matter what happens down the road. I strongly encourage you to take that first simple step. Make that first phone call and secure your own foundation today. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.